All right. In theory, we are live now. Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me okay. I have my mic set up right here. Let me know. According to this, I should be fine. Hopefully. We'll find out. Is anybody here? Also, shout out to the person who commented about saying they thought this was like me announcing my love of Warhammer or something. I'm aware of Warhammer. I've never played it or any of the things, but I know of it. And there was kind of a reference to it in the last video because of my brother, but we'll get to that. Anyway, of course, like literally as we're doing this, I think my roommate and his son just got home. So we might hear some stomping. I apologize if they're stomping because there's now an 11-year-old in my apartment. There's not much I can do about that. Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. Anybody out there? I feel like there's a way to see how many people are here and I don't see it. They're probably, oh, there it is. It's in the other corner. I know how to stream. I am a professional YouTuber. Hello, Mickey Mullins. Welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm glad that at least one person's here. How are we doing? How is everybody? I am drinking a pumpkin head because 'tis the season. Shipyard. We love Shipyard. Is anybody else out there having a nice little Friday night beverage or snacky or something good? I do hate how the setup of this is mostly just me staring at my own face. I don't really want to stare at my own face, but also let me know if I sound okay. I can mess with the things a little bit if I need to. I can like bring my mic closer to my face. I can bring my face closer to my mic. I can step away from the mic. Just let me know. Again, professional YouTuber. I need to get a better webcam. Maybe I'll do that soon. This webcam's been fine, but I think it's... Sorry, I have something on my screen. It's probably time to upgrade. I might ask that for Christmas this year. Maybe Santa will bring it to me. Also, we do have a coloring book. We have Keanu Reeves, the Keanu Reeves coloring book. We've been coloring out of this now for like a year or something. I think over a year because I was coloring in this in my old apartment and I've been living in this apartment now for a year. So sounds good to me. Okay, great. And this is the picture we've been working on most recently. Keanu with all these little kittens. It's very cute. I think last time we were kind of working on like the tree and all this stuff. Like we were working on the branches. Yeah. So we might do some coloring. We'll see how focused I am. Most of the time I'm not that focused. Also, I got a new computer and my setup is such that it's really hard. There's like not a lot of desk space anymore. I need like a wider desk or something. I think what I need to do is I need to get a longer desk that doesn't have all this crap that's above it. But that's okay. But anyway, how are you all doing? People that are here, Mickey, how are you doing, buddy? Are we all doing good? Also, I'm in pajamas because when I do streams, I want to be as comfortable as possible. So typically no makeup. Sometimes we have makeup, but today no makeup. In pajamas, I'm wearing my Ripley's Power Loader shirt, tank top. That is very well loved. It's got some holes in it. And I'm covered in cat fur as per usual, even though I literally just took a shower. Somehow covered in cat fur again, always, because that's my life. I'm doing good, doing some knitting. Nice. I'm so impressed by people that knit and sew and have practical life skills. That's pretty nice. That's pretty cool. We won't get too started right away. We'll like kind of let people slide in. It's possible there's other things going on right now. It's a Friday night. People could be busy. It's cool. But that's fine. We're here to have a good time. Also, Tantrum's here. He's fuzzy in the webcam, but he is here. Hey, sweetie. Want to say hello? Oh, he's so cute. Look at him. There he goes. Now he's in focus. You can see my sweet pajama bottoms. Got these from my godmother. All right. So he's being cute back there. Murray's probably causing chaos somewhere. That's what he usually does. He's a chaos cat. Like, I love him, but he's very chaotic. Also, I'm really fuzzy now. I love being a YouTuber. Just constantly dealing with tech shit. Hello, welcome, Lip K and Vince. Hey, Vince. Always love to see you. Always love to see you here. Of course. Welcome. Get cozy. This is a cozy stream. We are drinking a pumpkin head. Obviously, you do not have to drink a beverage if you don't want to. Water is always encouraged, but not forced. We don't do that here. We don't force anything. We force good behavior. That's what we do. I love me some Pumpkinhead. I am a basic bitch, and I'm okay with it. I love Pumpkinhead. But yeah, what are we up to? How's everyone doing? A glass of rye? Hell yeah, Vince. Treat yourself. Treat yourself to some rye. Is anybody else? Mickey was doing some knitting. Is anybody else up to anything and doing any projects? I always encourage people to sew or to color or edit. People write, do work on homework. I have, of course, my Keanu Reeves picture, which we've slowly, this one's making some good progress. We might work on the tree a little bit more. But also it's me, and this is a celebratory stream, so how much I will actually pay attention to the coloring. I mean, it's always hit or miss how much I actually color, but I intend to color. So that means something. I don't know. Have I ever read what the little caption is for this? The caption, it says, "So perfect," spelled exactly the way you think, "that even kittens will cuddle him. Keanu will warm your heart. He won't need 9 lives to show you how much he adores you in this one." So sweet. I realized when I was in the shower today, I want this exact same coloring book, but I want it to be Raul Coley. I would love that. Even if it was just me. You know, if that sold only one copy, I would be the one buying the copy. It's just fun. And they're not all thirst traps. I mean, some of them are. But like some of it's just Keanu. Look, he's just camping. He's just camping. This is the one that I've actually technically, kind of didn't, but mostly finished. The one with him in the fireplace. It's just fun. He was born in 1964. It's just cute. It's just very cute. So I might do some of that. But yeah, what are other people up to? How are we doing today? Are we all having a good Friday or potentially Saturday, depending on where you are? Maybe some of you are in the future. What are we up to? I am a professional streamer. I don't think I've shared the stream link before we got started. Maybe I'll do that really quick. Maybe I'll do that really quick. I love how it gives me all these options for things I'm not even on. What the hell is goo? It's like sharing goo. What the fuck is glue? Goo? What is goo? Does anyone know what goo is? I have no idea. What's X? Keiko Talk? Reddit, obviously. Okay, Pinterest. It's interesting because I don't really think of Pinterest as like a social media thing. Yeah. Tumblr, LinkedIn. Yes, I'm going to share this on my LinkedIn. That could be fun. Excuse me. I'm elated. Anyway, we are here today. We are here because my mom is dead, parentheses to me, a eulogy about going no contact recently passed 40,000 views, which has made it my second most watched video ever. My most watched video is the abuse and polyamory video, which that video recently passed 51,000, I think. And that one is 2 years old. So that's how good the video's doing. Oh, hi, hey, Sarah. Thanks for coming. I'm glad you're here. Everyone say hi. That culture critic, Sarah. That's my song about you. I hope you enjoyed that. But yeah, so like the best performing video ever. My analytics are starting to kind of, it's definitely starting, the peak has kind of come down a little bit. Like it's definitely starting to even out the line. But it has been doing really good up until like, I mean, even now it's still doing great. It's just, you know what I mean? It's like, it's evening out, but it's definitely going to surpass abuse and polyamory at the rate it's going. Like it's just going to, especially if like with the next video, which we'll talk about later, if that does well, all my other videos usually get a little bit of a boost, especially like the best performing ones, which abuse always gets a boost because that's my most popular video. Just slightly depressing to think about that, actually. I was thinking about that the other day about how my best performing videos are all about abuse. I really don't want to be the abuse lady on YouTube, but I kind of becoming that, and that's concerning. I don't want to be like what's her name? Cruel World Happy Minds, who makes all the videos about like people who are grifters and stuff. Like I don't actually makes great videos. I'm not this is not me being like screw her. I'm saying I don't want to also do that. Also, there are children screaming outside because my neighbors outside have a backyard and a trampoline, and I can hear their children playing. So if you can hear children playing, I apologize. Trigger warning for happy children, I guess. I got a jingle. I'm honored. Oh, good. Oh, I'm glad you are. Certainly, if it had been the opposite reaction, I'd be like, oh, sorry. So that's good. Excuse me. But yeah, no, it's doing really well. And the vast majority of comments have been amazing. I mean, a lot of people are sharing trauma. It's a lot of trauma dumping. And admittedly, I haven't been engaging as much as I usually try to do with a video. Like usually I try to like comment a little bit more and talk to people. This one, I'm not doing as much with it. I'm mostly just heart reacting to a lot of stuff. And then occasionally I'll say something, but mostly I've just been heart reacting. And part of that is just because sometimes the comments have been like, literally, we're talking like paragraphs, like a book's worth of, you know, the way they were abused. And I'm really honored that people would feel safe enough to share that stuff with me. Like, I'm not like, how dare you? I just haven't had the mental capacity to like respond to every single comment. So if anyone out there is like upset that I didn't respond, I do apologize. But also I'm not really that sorry. Like, I hope nobody felt invalidated because I didn't like write a comment or, you know, something if I missed something. I hope everyone's okay. And for those people, especially who are still in situations where they have to talk to not so great family members, you know, I hope that situation changes for you soon. But the luckily most people have been really cool. It's been a mostly good like vibe, a sad vibe, but a good vibe. You gotta take care of yourself. Yeah, it's true. Exactly. That's been kind of like the last week. I haven't done shit. I have just been taking it easy. It's been great. You know, I'm heart reacting to comments. I have been trying to keep on the comments just to make sure nobody's sneaking in there and saying not cool things. Like I had one person I had to straight up block because they decided to be transphobic, and I was like, no. Just as a reminder to everybody, gender critical is a synonym for transphobic. I use the term gender critical for the same reason that like say like Kaylin Conrad does, and that I believe we should attach every negative thing that those people do to that label. If I use it, I'm not saying you're not transphobic. If anything, I am saying you are transphobic whilst calling you the thing you want to be called. So just as a clear point of clarity, if anyone needed that, because apparently this person did. And I was just like, nope, off my channel, but they were trying to be like, oh, thank you so much for not calling us transphobic. And I was like, go fuck yourself. So, but yeah, it's been doing really good. I have had, other than that person, there have been a few, actually, okay, so the two most negative bits of feedback I've been getting the most consistently has absolutely nothing to do with the parenting thing. And it has everything to do with either number one, the audio, which, yes, I am so sorry that part one had weird audio issues. I don't know what happened. It was literally like, I didn't notice it until I watched the trailer on my phone with headphones. I did not catch it until then. And I don't know what happened. And that was like the day before the premiere. And I was like, no, I can't. I just finished. I don't want to like re-upload it, have to put out a new link, and then risk a bunch of people not getting to the video in time or something. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to like fuck with it. So I didn't. So number one most negative comment has just been a bunch of people being angry about the audio. And I get it. It's annoying. I don't like it either. Like I have things with my ears too. I do not like the feeling of like one ear going to in this direction. I don't like that. So I don't like it either. But at a certain point, I just decide to live with the issues. You know what I mean? Like at a certain point, you just go, you know what? I'm walking away. So I am sorry about the audio, but also not sorry enough to re-upload it, especially not now. I'm not risking losing all those views. But I will try to make sure that doesn't happen again in the future. But like that was the number one comment I got, which was addressed in my pinned comment if people bothered to read it, which most people didn't until I pointed it out. The other probably most negative thing I got was some people talking about the empath thing, which I did come very close to blocking another person because of the empath thing. Because I had some people who got upset about, I guess, me saying like, I don't really believe in empaths because I don't believe in like a super powered idea of feeling empathy. Like I don't believe in that. I think people are sensitive. I think people have trauma. I think I'm a person who could easily call myself very empathetic in the sense that I can feel other people's emotions if I'm tuned in. And I can also feel about and mirroring and things like that. Like that, those things happen. It's not a special ability. I think most people can probably do it more easily than others, but like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't like the whole like I'm an empath thing, especially considering, and some people in the comments pointed this out, how many people call themselves empaths while being the most unempathetic people you've ever fucking met. One of the people who got mad at me about it, and I almost had to block, was saying how anybody who doesn't believe in empaths are probably sociopaths. And it's just like, how is that not proving my fucking point? So that person, I was like, yo, nah, so if I see them saying more stuff, I'm gonna block them. But no complaining about audio unless they can buy us. But yeah, exactly. Sarah gets it. Complaining about a YouTuber's audio is like the number one related trigger. it's so annoying because like I'm a baby. I do this in my free time, which is one of the reasons why it takes me so long to get a video out, especially right now when I have two other jobs in addition to this and comedy when I do comedy, which is very inconsistent right now, especially, and selling plasma to make a little bit of extra money, and God forbid sleeping or something else. So like, just remember that too. If something is not good in a video, just remind yourself that I am not a professional documentarian with like a full crew or with the money to pay somebody. Like when I have the money to pay somebody to take care of my audio for me, I will jump at that opportunity. When I have that money, I don't right now, but if I ever do, I promise I will do it, besties, but I am not there yet. So in the meantime, you're just going to have to deal with some weird shit sometimes. And I definitely think I've gotten better, but we've all seen the meme. Excuse me. So yeah, it's audio or the empath thing. I also had a few people about the get upset about the blood of the covenant thing, which I was kind of warned that might happen. One of my script advisors was sort of like, hey, just so you know, that's why I had the caveat about it being disputed. I didn't want to get into it because it was like a whole side thing. But hey, Legal Kimchi is here, everybody. Everyone say hi to Legal Kimchi. We love Legal Kimchi. Fuck yeah. And also give him a lot of props for voicing Elon Musk. He was so you were so sad. Like in between takes, you were just like, ugh. I could feel how gross you felt through your words. And I'm sorry I made you do that. But also you do a really good job. If that makes you feel any better. I don't know if it does. It might not. But yeah. I hope you're having a good day. Uh I hope yeah. I hope everyone's having a good day. But yeah. But yeah. He lives in the same city as me. It's gross. Ugh, that is gross. You have like secondhand. You have a secondhand Musk. I'm so sorry. I'll see myself out. Goodbye, everybody. Also, some of you weren't here before, so let me show you something. It's a tantrum. Hi. Look how cute you are. Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. Oh, I love him. Also, look at my beautiful pajama pants with my fuzzy socks. This is what I look like right now. When we stream, we comfy. When we stream, we comfy, people. No makeup, freshly out of a shower. Also, like my purple hair. My hair is purple again. I'm very happy about this. It's going to look really good in the next video. I don't recommend flinging a cat across the room, but there is a button. Oh, the number of times my siblings and I have made jokes about throwing cats and throwing a tantrum. It's he actually used to like to be tossed a little bit, like like tossing a dwarf, like a little baby toss on the bed, safe, not like we didn't like throw him. But he used to do that with my my ex, one of my exes. Baby, that's right, Miles. That's right. He is a baby. He's my sweet baby. Kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. He and Murray. Oh my god, can I share? I haven't complained about this to anybody yet, so you all get to hear about it first. This morning, I'm in bed. I went to use the bathroom. I came back to bed. My alarm hadn't gone off yet, so I'm like, I'm gonna get back in bed for a little bit. And I'm laying in bed and I smell the unmistakable smell of shit. Like I can smell poop. I can smell poopery, if you will. And I'm lying in bed and I'm like, did I not wipe? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what the fuck? What's happening? What is that smell? And that's when I realized what had happened. I get up out of bed, I turn on the light, I'm looking. What had happened is that Murray recently has developed this new habit of taking his little butthole and sliding it across my floor. My floors, by the way, are all hardwood, tile, linoleum. There's nothing, it's nothing. So he's just wiping his bare asshole on this is gonna be demonetized. This stream is not gonna make any money. On the floor. And he had done that. And I could see, because of the way the light hit the floor, I could see the trail. And there was a little tiny piece of poop that had fallen off. It was nasty. And then right after I found that, in the hallway, I hear the telltale sign of tantrum throwing up. And I was like, cool, great. This is why I have cats. So I was just like, okay, happy Friday to me. Gross. Yes, very gross. Very, very gross. I love my cats, but they are disgusting. But in fairness, most people I know with kids have a story that's even grosser than that. So, but it was just so like, and the thing is, it wouldn't have been so bad if it hadn't been the smell. But at least you don't have carpet. That's true. Like I have a runner rug upstairs, and our stairs leading up to from the first floor to the basement where my bedroom is, those are carpeted, but it's usually not too bad. Like sometimes tantrum throws up on them, but it's usually not too bad. But yeah, what else can you talk about with the video? Oh, I got a few comments. People really like the little guy that was hanging out at my desk. Like, I had the vase that I got at Goodwill for $1, by the way. And you can see it in this corner. There it is. Do you see it? I'm not pointing very well, but it's over there. It was next to that because my brother tried to sneak it into my green screened scene, but it was like on the shelf in the corner. And it's like, Nick, that's like outside of where The green screen is like, it's not, even if it was in the shot, it would get cut out because of the green screen. And he was really just, he was like physically, you could see the disappointment on his face. So to throw him a bone, I put it on my desk so he could see it. And then I had people commenting like, "Oh, that's so cool!" And I was like, "I have no idea what it is. It's just something my brother has because my brother he paints models and he's aware of. I'm pretty sure it's a Warhammer thing, which I haven't really engaged with Warhammer much. I know of it in the general sense, but I haven't played any of the games or anything. But my brother he paints like models and stuff from it. So and he has some like stuff out in the hallway. So I think it's cool. I think it's I don't have super strong feelings about it either way, but just in case I was wondering, because some people be like, "Oh, is that the blah blah?" I'm like, I don't know. It could be. As a 3-kid veteran, I am happy to report my third child hasn't pooped directly on me yet. There's still time. There's still none of my nephews have pooped on me or peed on me. Not for a lack of trying with the peeing. I've had some spit up on me, not too much, but I have had some spit up on me. God, we were talking about empathy earlier. That's a thing that always gets me. Like I can't see vomiting on screen. Vomiting or drooling or spitting in like someone's mouth. Like you can tell I'm having a hard time. I'm like, I gotta be careful advertising that though, because you're gonna get contrarian assholes who are just gonna send me fucking videos of it. That's okay. But I really haven't had too bad. Mostly with the cats, they just throw up. It was really just the poop that really that threw me for a loop this morning. But yeah, what else? What else? I have had a couple. I honestly was expecting a lot more people to be jerks about the video in the sense of like, oh, parents are on this pedestal, and how could you not talk to your parent and blah blah blah. Luckily, I haven't had too much of that, which is nice. I've had a couple of people who kind of were maybe a little snarky with me, and most of them I was a little snarky back, and then it was fine. You know what I mean? Like I had somebody the other day who commented about how, I've got no contact with my family member too. But this is the most masturbation I've seen outside of Pornhub. And my response was to be like, and hey, lucky you got it for free. With like a little peace sign. And they actually responded, sorry, I feel bad now. I think I'm just in a bad mood or something. I'm just really jaded. Sorry. I was like, it's fine. It's fine. It really isn't so bad, which I think says a lot about my comment section that even when people are rude, it really isn't that bad most of the time. And part of that's because I'm small. Like I just passed 9,000 subscribers, which woo, happy about it. Don't get me wrong. But I haven't passed 7,000 yet, 10,000 yet. How do the numbers work again? So I'm still tiny. Gonna hit 10K soon. I hope so. That's the hope. I think with the next video, I should definitely hit it if I don't hit it before then. And for all I know, the video might end up in certain circles at some point, and that could, it could give me a boost in kind of the bad way, but like that could certainly happen. And if it does, then I might get a lot more negative comments, but it hasn't happened yet. So hopefully it continues to not happen. I mean, it would be good for the money and such, but I don't really want it to end up in certain circles of the internet. You know what I mean? I'd rather it stay where it ended up, which is perfect. Remember, even negative comments that's true. It is ad revenue. It still gives me money. It's more that I just don't want to see a bunch of people being jerks in my comments, but I know it's going to happen eventually. And sometimes people are jerks. Mandy Science Theater, 10,000. Hell yeah. Heck yeah. I was going to color and I haven't colored at all yet. Again, part of it is just my desk is not conducive to coloring anymore. Like the way my setup is right now, it's just, if I have to color like where my mic is, basically. There is not a really good spot. What else was I to say about my current video? I already talked a little bit about the audio thing, which I'm sorry about. I really am sorry about that, but overall, I'm pretty happy with how my green screen came out. The second half, the green screen towards the end got a little wonky. And I think it's because I filmed all day. So by the time it was nighttime, the lighting was different in the room. And I think that messed with the green screen. So the green screen looked really good until it didn't. And then in like the second half of the second part, you can kind of tell that it's like a little wibbly. Or act 3, I should say. Act 2 looked great. Act 2, no notes. I thought Act 2 looked great. I love that dress. I love that hat. I love my setup. I love my lighting. The sound was fine. I was pretty happy with all of that. On my voice liner. Oh, actually, that's the thing I should mention. I was about to be like, oh, all my line readers were great. Hang on. The one hat was hot. Yeah, the hat is great. That was the same hat I wore in my polyamorous during the pandemic video. My Lady Demetresque hat, which is great, and I love it. And I also wore that hat. Is that the same hat I wore for my solo polyamory video? I might have. It might have been the same hat. I'm not sure. I know I had a big hat in that one too. That was like a beach hat, but I can't remember if it's the same hat or not. I think I borrowed a hat. Can't remember. I'm just running between cooking dinner and playing guitar. Took time off work to record, but instead of recording, just been writing new songs. Can't write what I want to, just when I want to do something else. I mean, the mood to create hits at weird times. We should all wear more hats. Yes, I do agree. I should wear hats more often. I wear bandanas a lot, but mostly because of one of my jobs, being in the deli. But sometimes I just want to wear a bandana. I have purple ones, of course. But yeah, so I started to talk about line readers, and then I realized I addressed this in a post, and I addressed it in a few places on social medias. But obviously, as some of you probably have seen, and if you don't know, you're about to find out. One of my line readers, Vivian Strange, has had 4 people come forward with allegations of some pretty not great behavior, putting it lightly. We're talking stuff that, I mean, it sucks. What are you going to say? It sucks. Some really not okay behavior, boundary pushing, manipulation, some triangulation type stuff almost, and then also assault. And that sucks. And I obviously didn't know the extent of the allegations or anything about the allegations until afterwards. There was something she said to me in private, that looking back at it now, I'm kind of like, oh, that might have been a hint of something. And that was just her saying something about like, oh, somebody I used to work with is running around telling all these lies about me and comparing it to like a snake in the grass situation. And I was just sort of like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. In retrospect, I probably should have pushed back against that more. But at the time, and I wanted to give her a little bit of space because people are allowed to be angry. You're allowed to express that anger in a messy way, especially in private. Like in private, if you need to express anger, that's fine. Then it turned into, oh, there's actually 4 people saying all of this, not just one person, the way you led me to believe. It's 4 people, and you're talking about this in a way that's uncomfortably similar to how Franklin Vo talks about this shit, which is to say it's some kind of mass conspiracy to bring down somebody from people who are also in the same community, even though you're trying, I mean? Like it was very unfortunate to find out. And I obviously support the survivors. That's why I've shared the document. That's why I'm bringing it up again now. I am always going to default to believing survivors anyway. But especially when you have a group, like a couple of people, you could maybe argue is a coincidence or maybe just happen to have a bad, like I have people in my past that could probably say some things about me, right? But if you have that many people come forward, like I feel like once you get to 3 or 4, you gotta pay attention. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure to address that here. I obviously didn't know. If I had, I obviously wouldn't have had it on my video. And it's sucky that we have people like that in our community. And I hope, Vivian takes the time to actually seek accountability and face those uncomfortable truths about herself. She talks a big talk about being a relationship anarchist and having done the work this is part of the work. So hopefully she does. I've heard that she's planning a video. She said as much before I left her Discord, which is not the way you usually handle allegations. So I'm disappointed to hear that. If and when she comes out with a video, I'll probably watch it. Just morbid curiosity. But I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of expecting it to be an Illuminati situation where we watch it and we go, this ain't it. You know what I mean? Oh, Murray's outside the door. I might let him in a second. Hang on. Meow. Meow. You want to come in? Are you going to behave yourself? That sounds like a no. I just told everybody about you wiping your butt on my floor. Hey, can you get out of the way? Murray, pick a side. I need to close the door. Hi. All right. Well, we'll leave it like that for now. Anyway. The hat was iconic. Thank you, Evan. I used to be a hat man, one of those grandpa driving caps. Oh, I knew quite a few people who have worn those over the years. Hi, Caption Boy. Everyone say hi to Caption Boy. He did a very good job. I actually got a few comments about the caption, so good job. I found her through, I think, one of her accusers, which is weird in retrospect, but hey, I'm subscribed to the other, not to her, so I guess I picked right. I mean, there you go. I wouldn't overthink it. It's really difficult to suss this out in the moment. Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's me. I'm always going to be a little bit like, I should have known somehow. But retrospect is always, what it is. Hi, Murray. You all want to say hi to Murray? Here he is. Here's the poop fiend. Yeah, you. I told him all about it. You jerk. I love you, but you're a jerk. Can you believe he's 10 years old? This guy's 10. Tantrum's 11. Hi. I love you. Go on. Be free. All right. He ran off. Yeah, making a video is usually not a step in the apologizing process. No, it's not. Like, even... Do you have magic predicting powers? Maybe. I've said too much. No, you're all right. I know you're right. It's just, I don't know. There's a part of, maybe it's because now I'm getting this reputation as the abuse YouTuber. I'm like, I should just know things, obviously. That's how that works. But no, I'm always going to believe the best in people. Which is annoying sometimes. I think what it is, it's almost like, I want to be careful how I word those because I'm dangerously close to turning the situation into something about myself. And it's not about me. It's about the survivors. It's about the harm that has been done. So I'm saying this very much in like this is not about me. Please don't make it about me's moment. But this is my stream, so I'm going to say it. There's a part of the situation that for me kind of just made me go, really? Again? You know what I mean? And I'm laughing, but I don't really mean it in a funny way. I'm just saying it's like, there's just something so exhausting about it. And at the same time, it's just like, really? Why? I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and she was also dealing with some stuff. And we were both just saying, like, why can't the trash just take itself out and away from me and never, I don't need the dumpster to come chasing after me. I don't know. Not that people are inherently trash. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just saying sometimes you're just like, I just don't want to deal with this anymore. Why can't everyone just be cool? I know that's not how it works. That's not how this works, baby. I know. Stop being smart, Sarah. Okay. Can you stop making sense? Okay. God. How dare you? This is all sarcasm, by the way, in case I know some people don't pick up on sarcasm well. This is all sarcasm. It's all good. No, I know you're right. I know you're all right. It's me. This is the way I am. I mean, I have this new job that I just started, and sometimes my office manager that's training me is like, you're doing a good job. I want you to know that. I'm going to keep telling you until you believe it. And I'm like, but I don't know how to immediately do everything. And she's like, yeah, because you work 2 days a week for a month and a half. Why would you know how to do everything? I'm like, because I should just know. Okay, I'll admit it. I'm an empath. I can be nonsensical. Touche. Oh, you know what? I thought my roommate and his son was here, but his car is not here. I thought maybe it was just my other neighbor going by. Sweet. So if the door's open, it's not such a big deal. I was worried that there was like an 11-year-old child running upstairs. There's not, so we're fine. Ooh, excuse me. I'm a lady. I also apologize for people who like burp sounds. I didn't burp directly into the mic, but close enough. It might have been annoying. So also, I really love this necklace. Have I ever mentioned how much I love this necklace? I wear it a lot with these earrings. It just, my mouth set. Unfortunately, it's easy for abusers to get a foothold in marginalized communities because they know, at least subconsciously, their victims are less likely to be believed. I mean, yeah, I don't think you're far off, unfortunately. I've been telling you you've been doing a good job, and it feels like you only recently started believing me. 3 years later, and I'm starting to believe it. Mouthy Mandy. It's my other. Hey, Zilla! Welcome. Everyone say hi to Zilla. Sweet. We got a nice little stream going on. It's a chill stream. Telly, I was gonna color, but I don't have a lot of room on my desk, so mostly we're just hanging out and I'm talking some smack. Mostly about myself. you know. But yeah. So yes, ultimately where I went to end that last point on really is just it's very disheartening when you find out somebody that you've had like respect for the work that they do, um and who you've had I mean, I don't like the word collaborator, but I guess collaboration is essentially what she did with me, which is that she worked on she helped me with that is polyamory queer video. Like I used some sections with her in it, and also she voiced some lines in the most recent video. I thought it would be kind of funny to have Vivian voicing Vivian. Get it? She thought it was great too. And now it's like, I don't know. It's just frustrating and it sucks. And I really feel for Lola and everybody else. I haven't had a lot of interaction with Lola, to be honest with you. But I always hear good things, and it's a choice to try and paint her as a liar, pants on fire. Considering seems to have a pretty good reputation in the YouTube community. This is to say you can't have a good reputation and have things come out about you. Obviously, it happens. It's just kind of like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Also, a choice to try and claim that this is some kind of conspiracy plot against you because you're a trans woman, when some of the people, as far as I'm aware, at least some, if not all, are trans people. So, also a choice, and that's also frustrating. Sorry, old habit. Hey, clean your 9 years. Hey, that's great, Vince. Good job. The thing is, the trash sometimes will take itself out, but the harmed person who doesn't deal with their shit by harming others doesn't. No, that's true. That's true. And, I can certainly speak to having caused harm without meaning to, obviously. I'm a very hurt, broken person. I definitely cause harm. And that's one of the reasons why I'm in therapy. It's one of the reasons why I try to work on myself. I try to be mindful and take care of myself. But, you can flail and in flailing accidentally smack a person in the face. Like, that's a thing you can do, like literally and emotionally. And it's frustrating when somebody kind of has the mindset of like, oh, well, I already know better, so I'm fine. It's like, no, nobody knows better. I think everyone should be in therapy. If we lived in a world where it was accessible for everybody, everyone should be in therapy. We don't live in that world, sadly. So anyway, really heckin' sucks. I'm so exhausted by it. Yeah, whenever I've interacted with Lola, it's always been the best vibes. Yeah, that's what everyone says. Like, I've never heard about a word about Lola. Like, your YouTubers talk. We all talk, and sometimes the talk is like, oh, okay, keep in mind so and so has a little bit of a reputation. I've never heard about a word about Lola, ever. Everyone causes harm sometimes. You shouldn't react to that by calling the people who are, yeah, exactly. And like, I'm not saying you can't, because again, I'm human. I've definitely had times when someone has said, hey, you hurt me or whatever, and it's been like, what the fuck, and you don't react the best because we're human. But if that's like consistently your go-to, especially when it's a group of people you supposedly like cared about at one point or another, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. And I know that initially the thing I had heard was that Vivian was kind of saying like, "Oh, it's so preposterous that people are saying I profited from Palestinians and what they're going through." Like that was the thing I initially heard, and I was sort of like, "Yeah, that seems a little." From what I understand, you haven't been. But the thing is, at the time, I hadn't watched any of her videos on Palestine, so I didn't know like what she was actually saying in those videos. I supported them, but I was just like, okay, that does seem a little far-reaching. But I didn't know the full context. I didn't know what that was in relationship to. So that was my initial understanding, and then it turned and then what she had said to me in private about, like, "Oh, there's, like, a snake in the grass, whatever." And then and I and it was also interesting too because my introduction to the fact that there were multiple allegations against her was her own post in her Discord. I'm not sure if anyone else here was in her Discord, but she had a Discord post announcement talking about, like, "There's allegations against me," and the way she wrote the post was just, like, red flag city. I was like, "Nope, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I recognize this shit. We're getting out." And I abandoned ship. I blocked her. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. It was yeah. Pretty sure we've all caused harm. The thing is when someone says that hurts, you have to fucking stop. Yeah, exactly. If you run over someone's foot, yeah, maybe you didn't do it intentionally, but if you keep backing up over and over again and then saying, well, maybe the problem is your foot, like you're how I hate it. I hate it. I wasn't defending her not taking responsibility for the harm one causes is a choice. Yeah. Oh yeah, that post was so full of abuser language. Yeah, it was. Like there was specifically some line in there that was the thing that really tipped me off. Like it was all kind of but the thing that really got to me was the thing about saying, if anybody here is uncomfortable and needs to leave because you want to believe unsubstantiated rumors about me, there's the door. Like she worded it in this way that was just like, really? Like even if let's just for fun's sake, for fun. Even if you truly do not believe the allegations that have come out against you, if you truly believe you are a good person, these allegations are completely false. Why wouldn't you at least put on the veneer of pretending like you actually give a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you at least be like, you know, I'm very surprised by these like that's what smart people do. Smart, it's still shitty, but you know what I mean? Like that's at least pretend a little bit. Like it was so like it was so angry. It was righteous. How dare these people say this about me kind of anger. And that kind of anger always makes me uncomfortable. That's the kind of anger my mother has with me when I don't do what she wants. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't talk to her, among other things. I made a video about that. You should watch it. Honestly, I read that line aloud to my therapist. Oh, did you? Yeah. Oh man. I wish I had taken a screenshot. I didn't. I don't really need to take a screenshot. But it was just weird. And I did have a couple of people trying to defend it to me after I made that post in the comments. And one of them I as kindly as I could kind of told to fuck off. And another person I just straight up was just like, this is not okay. Because one person was kind of being like, you know, oh, this post uses they them pronouns at one point. That's a thing that transphobes do to trans women sometimes, which is true. That does happen. Vivian uses both, as far as I'm aware. Uses she, her, and they, them. Um, unless that's changed. That's what she did in my video because I made a point to ask. There was other things they were saying too about it was just like I didn't like the way it was written. It wasn't being straight up shitty, but it was a little bit like devil's advocate shitty, which is still shitty, but a different kind. And then also there was the person who commented that I just straight up ended up blocking them, and that person was talking about how this is not how you write this kind of document. This comes off very he said, she said, and most of this is just you could just chalk up to someone being annoying. And I was like, excuse you? The part where she was taking pictures of people when they were sleeping and touching them without permission? Yeah, that's not annoying. That's assault. Like, the fuck? I have, so some of you know, I have a video planned that I haven't gotten around to yet. It's supposed to be made this year. It's not going to happen this year. It's going to happen next year. About being neurodivergent. And I am going to have a section in the video where I want to talk specifically about something that specifically like irks me being a neurodivergent person is hearing how other neurodivergent people sometimes kind of like play down their abuse because they are also neurodivergent. I've seen so many examples of this, and it's gotten to a point now where I'm like, I can't. And I understand why people do that because we do live in a world that is very neurotypical and has these very unfair expectations for how people should act and how they should respond and be in situations that are not always conducive to them being their most happy, comfortable, productive self. Not that being productive in itself isn't like a virtue, but that's a whole side rant. Capitalism. I can't do a leftist stream without screaming about capitalism at least once. But you know what I mean? Like, I just get so annoyed. And like, there's somebody who I don't associate with anymore who I remember having a whole conversation once where he just kind of kept being like, well, I'm autistic. And it's like, and I'm bipolar and I'm borderline. It doesn't mean I can't fuck up, and it can't, like, it can be both. Like, you can fuck up because you're autistic and it still can be abuse. Also, there are autistic people who aren't abusive. Crazy. I shouldn't say the word crazy. I apologize. I'm working on that. Wild. There we go. Ridiculous. Bananas. Other words. We are learning. So what I mean, like, it just drives me up a wall when people say stuff like that about how, like, well, I'm neurodivergent. So if you think I was abusive to you, I actually wasn't. You just are neurotypical and don't get me. And it's like, no. Also, I can't tell you how many times I've seen neurodivergent people be abusive to neurodivergent people. Like, literally, that person I was talking about a second ago, the people that were like victims of his bullshit were neurodivergent people who were also specifically autistic. So shut up. And to this day, occasionally I unblock him and see what he's talking about. And he's still saying about how, oh, I was abused and the people who turned against me, you know, they blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, shut up. Just be honest. Like, you're never going to become a better person if you can't be honest about your flaws. We all have them. It's okay to have them. But to just continually hide behind, I don't know. It's weird because, like, I have empathy because I'm empathetic. I'm an empath. Like, I understand that we live in a neurotypical world and it's hard. And I do think sometimes neurodivergent people are accused of being less caring or lazy or these things that are detrimental to our health. And it is something we can talk about. That doesn't mean, though, that you are incapable of harm. Like, this person I'm talking about, that I'm alluding to here, he literally tried to say that autistic people don't lie. Like, he tried to say that. And it was like, you are lying right now. I know you are, because we had conversations about this privately. And I saw the screenshots you're referring to. You are lying. This is all like drama that is not important that I'm alluding to right now. It's never going to be a thing. We're talking about a person who I don't even think they've made a YouTube video in years now, but, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, this isn't really tea. We're talking about someone who doesn't matter. It would be punching down to even mention their name, but, like, it's not whoever you think it could be. It's probably not, unless you and I have talked about it privately. Like, Zilla and I have talked about this privately. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. Okay. Sorry. The "you can't hold me accountable" on autistic is so flipping awful. It is. It is awful. Blaming victims for not explaining their abuse correctly is a special kind of assholery. Yes, yes, it is. And I got that a lot from Vivian's shit, from that post, and just like the way that the things that the survivors mentioned. It came off that way big time to me. Yeah. Getting flashbacks to an ex-girlfriend. Oh, I'm sorry, Caption Boy. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry I'm being abusive. I'm a Taurus. I actually can't be abusive because I'm a Capricorn. So you're a Ford. My mother was a Chevy, though. I'm still on Tumblr and I can't go a week without seeing someone admit the most insane abusive shit and not understanding you can be neurodivergent and what you're doing can be directly linked to that and still hurt other people. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. For sure. It's, I'm never gonna claim I'm incapable of harm. If anything, my therapist tells me I'm almost too eager to take on blame, which is interesting. So that's the thing I have to work on. But I have BPD. I have done some awful things to people I love. Hey, BPD club. Woo! High five. Let's what was the joke I was about to make? Sorry, I just lost it. Oh, let's sabotage relationships because we think we're being abandoned. Abandoned. Yeah. Does anyone know that song? Ah. Oh, I'm going to talk about that in the video. Again, next year. I think that's going to maybe be my first video of the new year will be the neurodivergent video because I really have been wanting to make that and this year's gone by fast. So yeah, like I have BPD and I have bipolar and I have done some shit. I have some form of complex PTSD that sometimes makes itself known in not great ways. And it's just frustrating when I see other people try to claim that, that, oh, I couldn't possibly, if you think I'm being abusive, you're actually being ableist. And it's like, I don't think you know what that word means. You want any ADHD perspective? I'm very in. Oh, 100%, Zilla. I was going to probably reach out to you as a script advisor at the very least. I'm not entirely certain you're all hearing this first, but there's a chance it's going to be 2 videos. So it might be like the first video is going to be more about my experiences being neurodivergent and polyamorous. And part 2 would be like a surveyed talking to other people kind of thing. Maybe I haven't decided that for certain, but I'm considering that because right now I've already written some of the script and its script's already a little longer than it meant to be. But we'll see. I don't know. Sometimes scripts change like 4 or 5 times before I find the exact right way I want it. Like right now, the next script, I'm probably gonna rewrite some bits of that because I don't like the way it looks. Right, it's fine. It's just it needs more. Plus, there's giant chunks of it I haven't written yet. So, definitely stealing that joke. We're borrowing. We discovered that joke. We're colonizing the joke. Don't colonize. No colonization, please. Colonizer, no colonizer. If only that's how it works. Sometimes our brains make us do weird things. Still responsible for actions. Yeah, exactly. Like I might not be responsible for the way my brain is wired or even how I necessarily like feel about certain things because like feelings are so weird. They just happen. My feelings are very intense. Like I have very intense feelings basically all the time. But that doesn't mean I can't control my actions. I know the things I can do to like keep myself from doing something I'm going to regret. And sometimes the impulsivity that can happen with BPT, especially, I've gotten way better at keeping that in check. It still has strikes sometimes, and I'm not proud of it, but like, it doesn't mean I'm like, oh, the BPT made me do it. The BPD made me do it. You don't know what I'm trying to say. I can help too. Oh yeah, I know. Sorry. You're definitely in that camp too. 100%. Been living with ADHD for years. Happy to offer perspective. Oh yeah, of course, Caption Boy. Of course. No, our joke. Comrade. Comrade jokesters. Awesome. I think my beer. Oh no, I saw some of my beer. Excellent. When this beer's out, I might go get another beer and then we'll finish that beer and then we might stop streaming. I hear that. I'm on like the 5th version of the script for racism in education. Ooh, I can't wait to see that, Zilla. That's gonna be great. Excuse me. I love the Nicholas. Thank you so much. By the way, I love your screen name. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it, but I love it. The vampire mouth. Yeah, thank you. I got this at Spirit Halloween last year. I think I got it last year. And then I have my mouthy earrings, which if you can see, it says, if you aren't angry, you're not paying attention. I would say I'm going to wear these to the polls, but I'm not going to the polls because screw that. I am mailing in a ballot. I actually have my mail-in ballot right there. I'm going to do that over the weekend and send that out. If not over the weekend, then like Monday. My Halloween video is going to be a November video. Hey, that's kind of what's going to happen for me too, because my my October video was supposed to be the death video, and instead it's my mom video. So next month or December, it's going to be the death video. But it kind of works out because like winter's like the season of death, so like it still works. But you know, that's cool. Oh yeah, it was my email in HS in high school. I'm assuming you mean. And now I have connected it so much. Nice. I voted last week. Nice. Good job, Vince. Good job. You should. I know discourse around voting gets weird sometimes. I do think people should vote, but I also think I understand why some people don't. And ultimately, if you don't vote, that's your choice. I have friends who are indigenous, for example, who don't participate in voting because they're like the U.S. government. What the fuck is that? And fair. Uh, so I know voting is one of those things where sometimes people have some feelings about it, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, I as a white person know the best policy. I vote because my thought process is mostly like, well, if I don't vote, whether or not I do vote, it's going to affect me. But also, you should try to be very involved with your local elections at the very least, because that shit really does matter a lot. Really does. Even if you're like the big stuff doesn't affect my day to day, the little stuff really will. So that's how I feel about that. And that's my take. And I look forward to this being in a cancellation video 10 years from now. I'm joking, but I don't know. I see sometimes discourse about voting, and I'm just like, I don't know if I agree, but I'm not trying to be an asshole. And also, I don't know. Racism education was supposed to be like a year ago. Whatever. What's time? It's just a social construct, right? I vote tomorrow, but it's a different election. Yeah, it's true. Different country, different stuff going on. Hope you all in the U.S. are safe. We're not. We're in danger. I mean, I'm in Maine, and Maine is arguably a little bit safer, probably than some places, but still, it's Maine. Oh boy, can't afford anything. That's fun. Oh boy. But yeah, the next video, since we're kind of talking about it, next video is about death, because I wanted to follow up this video with a super light topic. But it is actually going to be a fun video, because the next video, the working title for it is Michael Flanagan Cured My Fear of Death. Parentheses, and you can too. I probably won't include that part. But basically it's about, I'm in Springfield, Ohio, Mandy. I'm so sorry, Vince. Girl, you in danger. Yeah, I mean, nowhere in the US is really safe, is it, right? Sounds fun, not intense at all. Let's go. Yep. But basically, it is going to be a fun video, though. It really is, because it's about my feelings around death, and also it's about some of my favorite Michael Flanagan shows, which is like really all of them. And how I really like the conversations and the way that he approaches the subject of death in his art. And I'm focusing mostly on the Netflix shows, because that's what I have the most access to, and those are the ones I'm most familiar with. I know he obviously also has movies and other properties. I've seen Hush, and I've seen, what's that other one? Gerald's Game? Yes. I've seen those as well. I haven't seen Ouija 2, which everyone says is actually really good. I haven't seen, there's some other stuff he's done I haven't seen. He did the because our boy loves Stephen King. He did that other one. The Shining sequel. You all know what I'm talking about, right? I don't know if technically it's a Shining sequel, but it's a Shining sequel. You know what I'm talking about. Dr. Sleep. Thank you, Legal Kimchi. I have not watched Dr. Sleep. I heard it's good. I just haven't watched it yet. Yes, Dr. Sleep. Oh, and Oculus. I also haven't seen Oculus. Oculus is interesting, because I remember hearing it wasn't that good, and now I'm hearing it's actually really good. And then I found out it was Michael Flanagan, so I need to watch it, clearly. So I think I just had bad friends with bad taste. Not really. They're not really bad taste. And no, nobody is fucking eating pets. Nazis are calling in bombs. I know. It's so stupid. I'm so sorry, Vince. I'm so sorry. Hey, Samantha is here. Everybody say hi. See, I do a little jingle sometimes for people when I'm feeling it. I'm going to say congratulations. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for stopping in. I hope you're having a great day. It was nice to see you even briefly. Always a joy. Um, but yeah, yeah, Oculus is good, and it was the shiny sequel. Okay, excellent. You liked it when you first came out. Okay, good, good. Got a date in a bit. Nice, Sam. Go on your date. Lovely. I watched for Karen Gillian. I was super into Doctor Who. I mean, Karen Gillian is a cutie. Like, she is a cutie. That's fair. That's legit. Like, do you I'm never going to judge anybody for watching something specifically just for the actor that's in it because like that's true for me for plenty of things. I used to be really obsessed with Ray Park, so I've seen a bunch of Ray Park movies, some of which are blatantly not good. I'm one of probably 3 people that have watched the movie Potheads. That movie's terrible. I own it on DVD. It's horrible. I've watched it one time. It's so bad. But I got it because Ray Park. And then let's see, I watched Django because Abigail Thorne's in that, and that was not. I don't want to say it was bad exactly, but it wasn't good. It was weird. I don't know. I think part of it was just it was for something that came out in like 2023 or 2022, it was weirdly racist towards indigenous people. You know what I mean? And I say weirdly. Obviously, there's plenty of properties that still come out that are still racist towards indigenous people, but like, you know what I mean? For something that was trying to maybe be a little bit more modern, it like, you had trans characters who don't do a lot in the show, but they're there. That's fun. Like, it's just, I don't know. And you have a town where it's like interracial town that's constantly being attacked by the racist other town that doesn't like them and is led by the lady who there's like an incest thing going on with her. It's really weird. It gets really weird in some places, and there's a lot of incest vibes. So I didn't like the show very much. And in fairness, I'm not a huge Western fan. I like Westerns occasionally. It depends on the Western. Like, I really liked the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly trilogy. That's a great trilogy, and I really liked Once Upon a Time in the West, I think is the other one I've seen. Oh, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That movie, no, I just said that, not that one. The Quick and the Dead, that's what I was thinking of. Sorry, I'm like, all Western titles are like the something, and the something. Which one was it? I couldn't remember which combo. Quick and the Dead, I love that. Sam Raimi does a Western, hell yeah, always about it. Oh, wow, thanks, Sam. Thank you so much for that $5. Canadian dollaroos. Thank you. Very sweet. Very appreciate that. But anyway, the whole point of that is like, there's nothing wrong with watching something because someone's in it. Like, I watched some things just because Abigail Thorne was in it. I watched some things with Ray Park. More recently, I've been watching some stuff that just because Raul Coley's in it. I love him. There will be a section in my next video where I just go on a little bit of a Raul Coley is awesome rant. So prepare for that. But like, I watched Death and Other Details because he was in that, and I didn't really like it very much, but I liked him. He was great. I love him. I'll watch him in anything. iZombie, fuck yeah. That show's so silly. I fucking love it so much. It's the best. My daughter works for social services. Oh, Vince, I'm so sorry. She's probably going through the fucking ringer with that, isn't she? I will watch anything with John Cho. Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah. No, the amount of awful horror I've seen, that's an assault on the senses. Hope it goes well for you. Yeah, for Sam, hell yeah. I hope it's a great date. I hope so. Dan Stevens can do no wrong. Yes, you have a great evening as well, Sam. Thanks for stopping by. Tombstone was awesome. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, I haven't seen Tombstone in forever. I do remember that being like a big, I feel like they're in the 90s. There was this kind of like Western resurgence there for a second. I don't know if I'm remembering that right, though. I was a kid at the time, but I feel like you had like Tombstone. I think you had Quick and the Dead. And I feel like there was that other one with the guy who plays poker. And I think he was played by Mel Gibson. And then there's a part in the movie where Danny Glover shows up for a cameo and they play like the Lethal Weapon stinger underneath it before he leaves. He's in it for like 5 seconds, but does anyone else remember that movie? Maverick. Yes, thank you. Maverick. That was like such a thing for a minute. iZombie was the time. Yeah, Socialist Horror, if you haven't watched my trash video, watch it because I talked about iZombie in that video for a minute. Yeah, Maverick. I remember that movie. I remember that. Young Guns. I don't know if I've seen that one. There's an older Western called The Big Country that is just amazing. I don't think I've seen that one. I'll have to watch that one sometime. Oh, also True Grit. The original and the remake are both really good. I really like True Grit. That's one of those like classic Western movies I remember really liking as a kid when I saw it and then liking it again as an adult. Um Rattles in so many Mike's Netflix projects. I hope you have time rewatching. Oh yeah. I'm rewatching Blind Manor right now because I love Owen. I love Owen. Owen. I'm trying to be a pretentious British child. I don't know if I'm doing a very good job. But yeah, he's great in Blind Manor. He's great, obviously, in Midnight Mass, and he's also amazing, even though he's not in it as much technically in Fall of the House of Usher. Yeah, and Back to the Future 3. Yeah, there you go. Back to the Future 3. That was also a great movie. Your hair looks great. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very happy having the purple back. I've been wanting it back for like months now, and I just kind of didn't have the money, and then also just been busy and everything else. Oh, 310 to Yuma. I don't think I've actually seen either of those. I might have, but I'm not sure. How do you choose the purple? So this purple is technically a little darker than what I usually go with. My hairstylist chose this one because she had a reason. We went slightly darker, I think, because the other purple I had, it might not have blended as well with my dark roots, because as you can see, I have a decent amount of hair growth from the last time. The last time I did my hair was in like April or May. So it's been a minute. So we chose a darker color because we thought it would blend, which I think it blends great. Like I think it looks really good. And she I don't know how I can see it in the back, but she kind of trimmed up the back a little bit for me so you can actually see my neck tattoo, which is fun. So yeah, thanks. I love my hair. I'm very happy with my hair. My eye. True Grit is one of 2 John Wayne movies I watch unironically. Nice. What's the other one? Oh, you say it right there. The other is The Long Voyage Home, despite the horrific Swedish accent. I don't think I've seen that one. Midnight Mass was great. Gotta love a walkable community with a lively nightlife, right? Also, so blatantly Maine. It is so obviously set on a Maine island. Like, first of all, okay, here's my thing about Midnight Mass. Midnight Mass is the best adaptation of Salem's Lot ever. Fight me. There's that, number 1. Number 2, it is so obviously meant to be a Maine town. And number 3, the fact that the town wasn't as populous as it was supposed to be because of COVID actually worked in its favor, because there are islands like that in Maine right now, some of which are being very much directly impacted negatively by climate change and environmental factors. So all of that is like really, really good. It was real. And I don't know how much of that was intentional. Like, again, I know they because they couldn't have as many extras because of COVID restrictions, that was part of why that happened. But also, I don't know if he actually like did any research to be like, okay, what's happening in Maine? But like, it's so good. Ugh, it's such a great show. Anyway, I think it is the show that has some of the more less smooth transitions into monologues for Michael Flanagan property. I love Michael Flanagan monologues. Not saying they're bad. I do think Midnight Mass has more monologue. It's so monologue heavy at times that it almost annoys me. Not quite, but enough so that at times, like, there's like 1 or 2 monologues in particular where I'm just kind of like, okay, here we go. Oh, somebody asked what time it is. Why do we need to talk about? I mean, it's that old joke. It's an old joke, but it is true at times. And again, I love Michael Flanagan so much, and all of the monologues are done amazingly. And I love that he gives so many of his actors the opportunity to do monologues as a former theater kid. Like, that's awesome. Like, supporting actors, whatever, like, everybody gets a monologue. It's great. Sometimes they do grate on me a little bit, just a little. Don't take away my Michael Flanagan fan card, please. I'm just saying. It also makes your eyes look deeper. Oh, thank you. That's what I look like across a table from a date. Hey, how you doing? John Wayne doing a Swedish accent has to be heard to leave. Oh God, is it as good as him doing a Genghis Khan impression? Midnight Mass is better than Salem's Lot, the novel. I hate that book. See, I kind of like the book. I like the book, but I mean it's fair not to like it. I'm not gonna be mad that you don't like it. I liked Salem's Lot, the novel. It's probably one of my like top 10 Stephen King novels. But that's fair. Like, and I think the Rob Lowe adaptation of it was mostly good. I have some criticisms of it, but generally speaking, I like that adaptation. But I love Midnight Mass. Midnight Mass was great. Um, I lose my mind whenever I see anything filmed in Sydney. It must be crazy to live in a big US city and see it everywhere. I must. I mean, anytime anything mentions Maine in a TV show or something, I'm like, oh, Maine? I don't think they ever technically say they're in Maine in Midnight Mass, but they're in Maine. They're 100% Maine. Maybe, okay, fine. Maybe they're in Massachusetts. That's Maine. The man obsessed with Stephen King. It's obviously Maine. Like he's working on a freaking what is he working on right now? That's another Stephen King adaptation. He's working on like another Stephen King adaptation right now. The man is obsessed with my state, and I'm okay with it. He's an honorary Mainer. That's why he's so in love with Maine. His name's Michael. Okay, all the Mainers get that joke. Like, you know how many people I know named Mike in the state of Maine? Too many. So Michael Flanagan is an honorary Mainer as far as I will allow him to be an honorary Mainer. Also, hey, we have like 21 people watching. That's cool. Hi, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Isn't every horror movie set in Maine? Hey, now, some of them are set in Ohio, okay? Some of them are set in the British countryside. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness. Did you ever watch Once Upon a Time? Yes. Is Storybrooke, Maine anything like that real place? I don't think I've ever actually been to Storybrooke, Maine, to be honest with you, and probably not. Probably not. That is a joke, though, amongst Mainers is like, oh, what's the worst place imaginable? Maine. Of course. So the people who created that show had a bad experience in Maine. That's all I'll say about that. Flanagan just did a segment in VHS Beyond that was so chilling. I'm so behind the VHS movies. I've seen the first two, and I think there's like 4 of them now, maybe 5. But I've heard that the new one is good. So yeah, I gotta watch that at some point. Am I too late for the sad my mom was complicated talk? No, we can circle back. We sort of talked about the video a little bit, but like we could always circle back to the sad talk if people need some therapy. I may need to go get another beer before that happens, but we could. I also may need to use the bathroom. This kind of worked out nicely that none of my roommates are home right now, so it's kind of allowed to be just like loosey goosey and having fun here. Video ideas. Your favorite Stephen King's. Oh, that could be fun. That could be a fun little video. I mean, I really want to like do better at making shorts occasionally because shorts are a good way to like reach out to people and gain an audience and algorithm, blah, blah, blah. I haven't really had the time to like sit down and do that, but maybe I could do like, a Mainer's favorite Stephen King's or something. That could be a thing. Ohio is a horror movie. Just living in Columbus was awful. So I hear. I've never really been to like the Midwest or anything. I haven't really been inland at all. I've been mostly up and down the coast. They put spaghetti on chili. They are animals. What? They do what? Are they okay? What's happening in Columbus, Ohio? That's the real thing Republicans should be talking about. Oh, okay. I'm talking about Buffy. Nice. Go get a beer now before we distract you. I appreciate that. I'm just gonna catch up. I don't want to drag folks back. This is honestly my love. Oh, well, you're not dragging anyone back or anything. It's just we started talking about the video. Now we're just sort of chatting. We're just having a good time. We're celebrating. I got 40K. I tell you, the video's at like 41,000, maybe just under 500 views right now, which is awesome. It's amazing. I've gotten like 1,000 new subscribers. If any of you are new, by the way, welcome. Thanks for being here. So yeah, you're not dragging anyone back. We're just, hi, I'm neurodivergent. I just talk about whatever floats into my head. Have you watched Thanksgiving? No, I have not watched Thanksgiving. I should watch it at some point because I do love me a campy horror film. I just haven't watched it yet. Columbus is the best we got. Well, you know, sometimes the best isn't good enough. Sorry, Vince. Hey, Adnan, thanks for being here, and thank you. Thank you so much. Love having you. Everyone say hi to Adnan. Adi! Adi! We love having you here to join us at the stream. That was not one of my best ones. Oh, I think one of my roommates is home now. The one with the 11-year-old. So I'm going to go grab a beer, and I'm going to come back, and we'll chat a bit more. If we need to, we'll have a therapy session, and we'll wrap up, and we'll chill. So everyone behave yourselves, or I will stick tantrum on you. And while I'm gone, you get to look at Tantrum as he's being cute. Hi, can you watch the stream for me? Can you watch the stream? There you go. All right, everybody, he's watching you. Be good. Oh, also, I'm gonna mute the video just in case. All right. Did everybody behave while we were gone? Yeah. Did they do a little kitty tantrum? My hands are so wet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. I have my beer. Fantastic. All right. All right. My brief sad mom thought is, wow, it sure sucks looking to a mirror and seeing her face. Oh, ooh, ouch. Yeah, no. There was a whole deleted section of that script that was me talking about that, actually. So right there with you, if that makes you feel any better. Oof. Spaghetti and chili is a Cincinnati thing. It's what Greek immigrants could make when they couldn't find. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I mean, it's imaginative. Like, I think it's really interesting when it's the idea of like, oh, you don't have this ingredient. What do you do instead? You improvise. So no, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Vancouver Island is where they film all the Hallmark movies. So I guess you're Halloween and here's Christmas. Nice. Tantrum is the ironically named chilled cat. Oh, well, he is at home. At the vet, not so much. Hello, congrats on 40K views. Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. He is such a floofy gentleman. I love how he has, I think he's sitting like that right now, isn't he? He's got, oh no, he's got only one out right now. But sometimes he has his little paws crossed like that, and it kills me every time. My cat would be shitting on the bed to spite me right now. Cats can do no wrong. Oh, socialist whore. Did you not hear my story at the top of the stream about Murray wiping his little butthole on my floor, making my bedroom smell like poop? I love him, but he's a jerk. And then he's sitting upstairs in my roommate's bed acting all cute. It's like, you jerk. Look at that good baby. Yeah. Uh-huh. Scratching the hell out of all my door frames, though, jerk. Maybe it was out of the litter box way to make you change your sheets and make your bed. Right. I'm turning into my mom. My relatives call her by her name, and a ton of my clothes used to be hers, which doesn't have. Oof. I'm sorry. That's hard. Yeah. The looking like my mom thing really. When the last time I shaved my head, when my hair was starting to grow back in, there was this like in between it being like completely shaved and like when it got to a certain length, the in between was really hard for me. To such a point where I'm honestly not sure I'm ever going to shave my head again. I say that I really like myself with a shaved head. It might happen again, but like the growing it in between, it was just so hard. Like I would look in the mirror and be like, I look like my mom, because my mom keeps her hair really short, partially because her hair is thinning out, and that's just it looks better that way, honestly. And my hair is starting to thin out a little bit in some spots. I can see it. So like there was a certain length of hair I had when it was really short, where I look like my mom. I look a lot like my dad too, though. So like sometimes when I see my dad, I'm like, oh, I look like my dad. That's nice. And people point out to me sometimes like, oh, you don't look like your mom. You don't look like your dad. You look like you. And I'm like, thank you. I'm in therapy. But yeah, it's hard. It's really hard for those of us. Looking like your abuser is hard. It really is. My old cat in the U.S. healthcare system almost killed me when I was 23. Uh-oh. That's a story, Legal Kimchi. Do you want to talk about it? I have so many questions. Mostly just what and and tell me more. I have no cat, but I want to eventually, and I'm bracing myself for what's to come. Oh, just prepare yourself, Mary. It's a bucket of laughs. I love my cats, don't get me wrong. I really do. But it can be a lot sometimes, and they're getting older, and I'm sure there'll be more shenanigans as we go through. They're still, pretty healthy, happy cats, but still. I'll never cut my hair short because that's my mom's cut. Yeah. I can't shave my head because I don't have the head for it. Are you sure? You do the undercut really good, Caption Boy. When I shaved my head, it was bad because I kept my fringe, so I was a bald bitch with bangs, which was a wet choice. That makes me think of like what is it? Fallout 3. Isn't that like that's like one of the hairstyles you can get, isn't it? Where it's like mostly just bangs and like It's a choice. It's kind of like more like the Raider look, but you can technically I think choose it for yourself. Mixed race win. I will never look like either of them. Yeah, you got that over us, Sarah. I am white mixed with more white and slightly less white in some spots. Um, my first cat stuck her claw up my nose and hung out of my face. Oh my god. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh my god. Tantrum one time got a claw stuck in my neck. That sucked. Like his claw got under my neck and because I was trying to give him a bath, which that was the last time I ever tried to give him a bath. But oh, ow. I hate that. I look more like my dad, honestly, but apparently I sound just like my mom. Well, I've never heard your mom. So if that makes you feel like better. Um, everyone says I look like my dad, and it's so awkward for me. No idea how to respond. Yeah. Well, what do you say? Do you just say thank you? Um, legal kimchi, same Zara. Too dark to look like mom, too Asian to look like my dad. And I imagine that's kind of a, if you'll excuse the almost pun, a mixed bag. Sorry, I hate that. I hate myself as soon as I said it. In the sense that like I imagine sometimes that must be frustrating to not look more like a parent if you have a good relationship with your parent. Um, but also it could be a good thing if you don't want to look like your parents. So I know for me it would be a good thing, but again, my lineage is messy, so that's different for me. But anyway, I don't know anything about being a mixed race person, so I'm going to shut up now because what can I add to this conversation? Literally nothing. Literally nothing. She was just a baby, but she's better now. She has asthma. Oh, and drools a lot. Oh, baby. Oh my goodness. Your nipple? Ow. See, this is what I mean when I try to say I'm an empath, is like I feel the pain. Oh. To be honest, my mom got mad at me for posting your video. Oh, she did. Oh no. well, well, that is someone told on herself a little bit, huh? Just saying. I have to say that's one thing I'm kind of surprised by is I haven't heard anything from my family. I haven't gotten any messages from any aunts or cousins or anybody trying to talk shit about any of this. And maybe that's because the family that would probably have the most problem with this I don't talk to anymore anyway. Um, but yeah, I haven't heard anything. And I don't answer. My mom's already blocked and everything. If she or her husband tried to reach out to me, they would have a very difficult time doing that. Technically, I don't have her husband blocked and everything just in case. My brother and sister haven't said anything about, mostly my sister's the one who's still in touch with her, hasn't said anything about her reaching out and being like, did you know your sister? So, but I'm a little surprised there hasn't been like a bigger reaction from certain family members. Although at least one of my cousins, we call her aunt redacted, but she's technically like a cousin. She's been fairly supportive. Like when she reached out to me at my grandmother's funeral, she kind of made a point to say, like, I know you don't really talk to your mom. If you ever need anything, I'm here. And I was like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So that's nice. Yeah, there's some issues. So we got some wins too. Yes, you do. You get some wins. You deserve some wins. You deserve all the wins. I have a friend who is Indian and her daughter is a pale skinned ginger. No one thinks she is her own daughter's mom. People assume she's nanny. She gets super angry. Well, I mean, fair. That's fair. I mean, you hear stories occasionally about people being accused of having kidnapped children because they don't look like their parents because of being a mixed race child. Like that's a thing that people deal with, and it's messed up. Because what is it usually? It's a dark skinned adult with a paler, lighter skinned child, usually a white passing child. That's usually how it works. You don't see the reverse of that as much from my understanding. I'm not saying that's never happening, but you know what I mean? Like there's a little bit more that what am I trying to say? I definitely hear more stories about a mixed race child being thought to have been stolen by a darker skinned parent than vice versa. When it's a white passing or lighter skinned parent with a darker skinned child, it's usually assumed that, oh, they're adopted or something, you know what I mean? Which I think says a lot about how racist we are. This is like the most happy stream ever. Great topics. We're talking about estrangement. We're talking about not liking looking like our parents. We're talking about colonialization. We're talking about Maine, the horror of the country. I hope they stay silent or they keep the God. I mean, hopefully, it's my mom. Knowing her, she won't. But at least I don't usually hear her shit anymore, so that's good. Or if I hear it through the grapevine, it's usually like several people removed at that point. It's okay. I talked her down, but it was funny. Yeah. Benefit of the doubt. My mom got some Where's the Real Mum, and she's a Scottish milk bottle. At least you have a nice beer. I do have a nice beer. Pumpkinhead. Not sponsored, but if they ever wanted to. I do love my pumpkinhead. It's that time of year. Hey, at least we're not talking politics. I'm not political. I feel like saying I'm not political is kind of the same as saying I'm an empath, in that we should all cringe immediately. Oh God. But yeah, the next video I'm going to talk about Michael Flanagan. I started talking about this forever ago, and I didn't really finish the thought. I'm going to talk about Michael Flanagan shows and how the way he talks about death is very interesting to me and has made me feel a little bit better about the subject of death. Admittedly, I'm also going to be talking about how this past year has felt like, quote, the year of death to me, because I know I personally have known 3 people who have died this year, including somebody who was actually like my age. I'm 36. This person was, I think, 34. And that's really weird. One of the people that died was, of course, my grandmother at the beginning of the year, who I used to be very close to. The last couple of years, I hadn't seen her as much for various reasons, mostly because of estrangement stuff with my mom. Because my grandmother was in hospice, and I knew if I went, there was a very good chance I'd run into my mother. And my mother was very insistent, by the way, that I should go see my grandmother at the end of her life, because I think she was hoping she'd see me. So yeah, the video is about kind of me dealing with my feelings of death, because I've been thinking about death a lot more this past year, as you will. And that's part of what the video is about, as well as talking about Michael Flanagan and some of the themes of death in his work. Like, for example, a lot of times his villains are people who can't let go of life. Isn't that interesting? They're people who desperately cling on, and then they hurt people as a result of that. The father in Midnight Mass, the Peter Flint and Peter Quint, whatever his name is, and in Bly Manor, the lady in Midnight Club, whose name I forgot because I haven't watched Midnight Club as many times, but Midnight Club. People who are like unable to accept that they're going to die, or are already dead in the case of Peter. Spoiler. Sorry. But yeah, so it's gonna be an interesting video. I'm really excited to work on it some more, because I've already written some parts of it, mostly some of the like personal talking about death and how certain deaths have affected me kind of parts. But there's more I want to do with it. Probably the priest outfit's going to show up again that I wore for the mom video, so you might see that again. Excuse me. My mom is Indigenous and I am white like my dad. Hot mess experience. Oh, I bet. I hit pass instantly on any guy's profile, his politics as moderate or apolitical. Oh, apolitical especially, because I'm just like, that's lie. That's a lie. You're a centrist. I'm not political equals right-leaning liberal. Yeah, exactly. You're a centrist, and centrists are usually conservative, or a lot more conservative than they want to believe they are. So yeah, that's the next video. I will hopefully have that out before the end of the year. I want to have at least one more video out, because I wanted to have 6 videos out this year. That didn't happen. So we're hoping for at least 4. Basically, I kind of took this week off So next week I'll start writing in earnest and hopefully get a decent amount of that done before the beginning of next month. And then I can start filming and all that. This next one, I want to try and film part of it in a cemetery. I'm a little nervous about doing that because I don't know. I don't want to be a jerk. That's really my thing. I don't want to be a jerk. But there's a lot of like old cemeteries around here, like cemeteries where people haven't been buried there for like 100 years. So it's very unlikely you would necessarily disturb anybody that's not there, like taking their dog for a walk or something. One of those cemeteries I used to love to walk through all the time, and the only reason I don't is because I just don't live right next to it anymore. Used to have a swing in the cemetery, and then somebody took it down, probably because they were like, "Oh, this isn't proper." And it's like, it's cool though. I love swinging on that thing. It was great. I like to listen to both sides equally. Yeah, what does that mean? I'm not political equals I don't think. Yep. Don't make my games that are set specifically in wars political. Call of Duty is not political. Yeah, okay. Oh, there's such lovely cemeteries up there. There's so many. There's so many cemeteries up here. Like so many just like random little ones, and then there's like some nice big ones, and there's so many. You can just find them anywhere. I always used to love. I went to school in Farmington, Maine. There's a school there. And I always loved that on your way into the school from the direction that we always came from, because we were coming from like central Maine to central Maine, because it's still central Maine. Um, there's a giant cemetery right before you enter the town from the direction we always came from. So that was my introduction. Was to Farmington. Was like, hi, here are all the people that have died here. It's fun. It's a nice cemetery. It is a nice cemetery. There's a creepy ass cemetery around here I found once and haven't seen since. Like it disappeared. Caption boy, did it disappear? Caption boy's been dead the whole time, everybody. Twist. I had a pretty big health scare a few months ago. It turned out to be a side effect of Hep C treatment, uncured, but it definitely got me thinking in mortality terms. Yeah, no. And like right now, my body is like not doing hot. And that's mostly my own fault. I just haven't been taking as good care of myself. I've been so busy. I don't have healthcare right now. Like my body is not doing great. Like I'm starting to get to my late 30s. Like I'm 3 years away from 40, and then there's nothing wrong with being in your 40s, by the way. Like I'm looking forward to it. It's just also one of those things where I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm more in the middle of my life in theory than the beginning. Like up until now, it's always felt like I feel like right now in the beginning of my life, I feel like once I hit 40, that's definitely like the middle. Even if I live another 40 years, like that's literally 40, you know what I mean? 50 years. I could live to 120. Who knows? Who knows what could happen? Technology could go a long way. We could live in an altered carbon reality by the time I'm in my 80s. Who knows? Ghost noises. My wife and youngest have been in Wisconsin for a while taking care of her mother, who died of brain cancer last month. Oof, for almost a year, and I was afraid I'd never see them again. No shit, it's okay being in your goddamn 40s. There's a reason I said that. I knew at least a few of you were definitely in your 40s. So yeah, it's interesting. Because like if I'm being honest, like I am scared of death. Like I really am. I'm terrified of dying. But I also don't want to be so scared of death that I don't live. You know what I mean? So death is kind of a motivator for me. But sometimes it is so terrifying. And I think my way of dealing with it is usually to just kind of keep pushing through. But this last year, I kind of have had to think about death a lot because of if I have, it's not just me. It's like so many people I know have lost people. There's been some of those celebrity deaths. There's been, I have a lot of friends who have lost pets. Like I've had some friends who have had some like truly tragic losses that we won't get into, but like it's been a rough year. It's been the year of death. Like one of the people I know that died this year was literally murdered. And I won't get into it, but like, and he was an older gentleman, like he was 90. So like still very much at the end of his life. So in theory, less tragic than if it happened to someone younger. Still sucks. Still not great. Um, but you know what I mean? Like it's just been a weird year when it comes to death for me. So, and I feel like that's true for a lot of people. I mean, Abigail Thorne just made a video like what, a month or two ago about death too, and she kind of seemed to insinuate the same thing. So I think it's like everybody. We're all just experiencing a lot of death. And unfortunately, I think some of that is because of what's happening. Anyone want to put some watermelons in the chat? You know, like it's just that kind of world that we live in, unfortunately. And I don't know what else is, it's just, you know, it's just, and sometimes I think it's just the way it happens. You know, you get to a certain age and people's parents are older and not doing as well and stuff like that. So yeah. The vet thought my dog had cancer. Oh Jesus. Yeah. That's terrifying. Who isn't scared of it? I mean, I don't think I know a single person who isn't scared of death to some degree. I live half the year in the country. I'm not afraid of death. I'm afraid of missing out. Hey, there you go. Fear of missing out. Death is the ultimate fear of missing out. The only death issue is I don't want to leave my family and pets behind. Otherwise, I'm just afraid of not finishing things I need to finish. Oh my God, my life is just one giant list of side quests I haven't finished. Ugh. I'll get to the afterlife and be like, shit, I forgot to finish reading all my books or whatever. Excuse me. There's a huge graveyard that connects to, I'm going to say a little closer. Sorry. Hi. Where was I? Oh, there it is. Sorry. There's a huge graveyard that connects to the woods, the top of the hill. My house is on. Ooh, that's cool. I love it. I love it. Oddly enough, I'm a lot more scared of stagnation than death. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I mean, yeah, fair. Like I'm gonna die at my desk. That's fucked up. I swear to God, if I die at work, I will be a ghost. If I die at work, I'm 100% gonna be a ghost. Not scared of death, scared of painful death. Ooh, yeah. That's another thing too. Cause you don't know. Like, I hope I die peacefully in my sleep without any pain at age 900, but you know, I don't fucking know. Used to have late night panic attacks about death. Oh, I've been having those. I've been having those all year. It's great. I'm doing a little better. And I have a therapist and she taught me some stuff that I can do. But yeah, no, it's hard. And thank you, Zilla. Thank you for the watermelons. We love that. I think my neighbor's kids are still playing outside. There was something I meant to say earlier. I don't remember what it was. We won't worry about it. But yeah, no, it's this year has been it's been a lot. So like the next videos, it's going to be, even though it's about death, which is a heavy topic, I'm planning to make it as fun as possible because I'll be talking about Michael Flanagan and I'll be talking about deaths in my life, including some celebrity deaths, honestly, that have hit me kind of hard. I plan to have a section where I talk about Chester Bennington. So that's going to make me cry. But like a good kind of cry. And thank you all for the watermelons. We love that. By the way, if you all have not watched Shanosphere's newest video, you should do that. On a related note, because I just watched it and I was like, cool. So I want to share that. If I can. I should probably share that on my community tab too. But yeah, that's kind of, I think we've covered just about all the things I meant to cover. I talked about a bit the next video. Next year in general, we're just going to take it as we go because I don't know what next year's going to bring. This year brought with it like a new job, which is hopefully eventually going to become full-time and have benefits. But I think when I'm full-time, I might have a 4-day week and then 3 days off, which might actually be more conducive to creative projects, hopefully. Once I'm not working at the other place anymore, the deli, we will see. But also, yeah, I obviously want to pace myself. And I can tell you the 3 videos I definitely want to work on for next year to have hopefully at some point next year or, you know, soon enough, is the neurodivergent video, the being polyamorous and neurodivergent, which there are parts of that are going to get kind of heavy, but I think overall it's going to be okay. There's going to be the decolonizing love video, which I actually want to reach out to Ali Needy about that one because I would love to work with her on that in some capacity. I got to talk to her to see what she might be interested in for that. And that there was a book I read last year that was really interesting about sort of like colonization of romantic relationships. That was really, really interesting. So I really want to make a video about that topic. And then I also want to make a video about Maine, which is like going to be this like documentary style video. And it's going to involve me traveling around the state and all this other stuff. There was this arts commission thing I applied to that I was hoping to use to help fund that. And unfortunately I didn't get it, which is okay. But that is going to be a big project. It's a project that's going to take like a year in itself just to film, probably, because I need to travel multiple places. I need to hopefully film in multiple seasons. Like, it's going to be a big video. So like in theory, the next year I would be writing that, and then maybe throughout the year I can film it, or I would have to like write the whole thing out and then film it the next year and then have it come out at the end of that year or the beginning of the next year. So we're looking at a project that's going to take me like a while to come out with. Especially on top of, having to pay for groceries and occasionally see my friends and stuff. So don't do too much here. I remember when you were doing Respect the Dead as well. It was a lot. Yeah. Yeah. God, I can't even imagine how I would have fit in Respect the Dead right now. Like, I miss Respect the Dead sometimes, but like, I couldn't do it right now. I would be in a bad place right now if I was doing Respect the Dead on top of everything else. Like, I don't know what I would be losing it. I would be on the verge of a mental breakdown. Like, it would be bad. It'd be very bad. So yeah, that was a lot, and I'm trying not to do too much. I'm trying to give myself grace, and I'm trying to trying to remember all these things, and it's okay. But yeah, so those are some of the projects. And there's some other thefts too. Like, I really want to make a video about the polyamory inherent in The Handmaid's Tale, because I think that could be kind of an interesting little video to make. And I haven't seen that many people talk about it. I also want to make a video about the almost wholesomeness, uncanny wholesomeness, if you will, about in an American Horror Story. That's kind of hard to do because there's so much to unpack with American Horror Story, and I feel like people have made a lot of videos about it already, so I'm not sure if I really want to do it or not, but I kind of want to. I don't know. We'll see. And I haven't watched all of American Horror Story. I haven't seen the new season, especially with some of the stories that came out about the new season. But there are some interesting things that American Horror Story has done occasionally, so maybe that. There's some other videos idea. I have a bunch of video ideas. I always have video ideas. Oh, there's a video idea I'd really like to make happen next year. And Sarah and Zilla are here. Excuse me. And I only bring that up because the two of you would definitely be involved with this. I want to make a video at some point, maybe next year, called How to Write a Fat Character. And I think that could be a lot of fun to do with the two of you and some other people. Like, I'd love to get Okay to Be Fat's input on that as well, and some other people's. So that's another thing I want to do. And that video would be, I want it to be a discussion of fat representation in videos. And I also want it to be like a group of fat people just talking about, like, this is what I want to see for a character. And like, this is what would be great. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it'd just be fun. I don't think it'd be a very long video necessarily. I just want to talk about that kind of stuff. I don't know. Yeah, Allie would love that. I think she would too. And I think she would be fucking great. And I just had to talk to her about like, do you want to be just like a script advisor? Do you want to actually like write part of the script with me? Do you want to just have a whole section to yourself? Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to make the whole video and I step back? I wouldn't do that because that's not fair. Like, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like, I want to talk to her and see what her capacity is and like what she feels good about, obviously, and go from there. Hopefully you'll guest on Muppet Sex and Trauma a few times as well. Yes, I hope so. I know we have plans to do another one here at some point. I love being on that, obviously, all the time. I did get them all damn near 10% raise that I've been working on ever since I took the job. So hopefully they know I have their backs. Oh, cool. Well, congratulations. Oh, there was a comment you said right before that. Sorry, Vince, I missed that. So yeah, that's cool. Excuse me. Oh, heck yes. Let's go, Reading Fat People. Oh, I'm in. Crossover. Okay, good. There's some excitement about all that. That makes me excited. Yay. Awesome. Fantastic. Also it's like 6 o'clock, almost six. So we're gonna wrap up probably kind of soon because some of us are gonna go watch a movie in a minute here. Hello. This has been a fun stream. It kind of flew right by. This has been a good one. I didn't do any coloring. I've been looking at. I just don't have a good setup to color anymore. Like this new computer setup, it's great. I love this new monitor, but it does take up so much more of my desk now. Like before, my monitor was kind of like tucked in the back, but now because of the way this is set, I have to do it like this. Like unless I move this, which I probably could move that and put it like in my closet or something, or just get a bigger desk. Like I've had this desk now for like 7 years. We'll see. My housemate has been filling my ears with random Willow facts for the last hour. Ha! Nice, Vince. It's Willow. We're gonna watch Willow, the 1987, 88 movie. I think it was around that time with all the people, Val Kilmer, and all the other. I just blanked on all the actors' names, but you know who I'm talking about. It's a great movie. I remember seeing, God, why can't I think of his name right now? This is driving me crazy. The name of the actor that plays Willow. What's his name? I just blanked on it. Someone tell me. Someone's going to say it. I'm going to be like, because obviously I know. Warwick Davis. Thank you. Jesus. I know that name. I was sitting here like, Willow something. Not his name. Warwick Davis. Thank you. Warwick Davis. I remember seeing an interview with him once talking about the village they made for Willow for the Nelfkins. Is that what they're called? The little people that they all are in that village. And I remember him talking about how they loved the village so much. Like it was their Hobbiton, like it was their place to be. They loved it. They felt accepted. They felt very comfortable there. Like they just wished it was a real place. Like I remember hearing that in an interview with him, and I was just like, that's so nice. And it's sad that that's noteworthy, but yeah, Warwick Davis, he's great. He's still around, right? He hasn't passed away or anything, right? He's doing okay. I hope he's doing okay. I hope everyone's doing okay. I feel like every now and again I remember an actor in particular this year and I go, he's okay, right? She's okay. They're okay. He is okay. Good. Excellent. Thank you. There's just a lot this year. I mean, we lost James Earl Jones this year, y'all. We lost James. We lost Shelley Duvall this year. We lost a lot of people this year. Still works too. Good for him. Glad to hear it. I hope he's making buku dollars. Hope he is. He's great. And I love Willow. He's so good in it, and it's just a great little movie. And it was kind of funny. I remember when I was a teenager watching it with a friend of mine who had never seen it before, and she did not like it as much as I did, and kept talking about how it was basically a Lord of the Rings ripoff. And I was like, okay, well, first of all, this came out before the like live action Lord of the Rings movie. Second of all, I don't know if I call it a ripoff because like it follows a very similar, like it has a similar story. Oops, sorry. It has a story structure, yes, that is similar to Lord of the Rings, but like it's also the story structure of a lot of fantasy. So I don't think that's fair. Like it's not like Lord of the Rings came up with all of the tropes and everything that it did uniquely. Like I'm not saying that Tolkien didn't like make some of it his own necessarily. I'm just saying it's kind of a weird thing to say. Like, oh, it's a ripoff of Lord of the Rings. Like, is it? Or I was about to say, or is Lord of the Rings a ripoff of Willow? That's not true. Lord of the Rings definitely is older than Willow. But his wife passed away. Oh, that sucks. How long were they married? Do you know? I'm curious. I mean, it's none of my business. I really try not to be too like parasocial and weird with celebrities because like they're still people. It's called The Hero's Journey for a reason, right? And I mean, we can get into a whole conversation about how Joseph Campbell's shit and he was not the best. He is somebody I would have done on Respect the Dead if I was still on. But yeah, 33 years. Oh my god, that's like most of my life. That's really sad. I hope her passing was as peaceful as possible. Oh, very white male oriented. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like Lord of the Rings didn't invent fantasy tropes. Like there are fantasy tropes that maybe it affected. I mean, I think arguably its depiction of elves is very different from what people used to think of as elves before that, but I could be misremembering that, and do not take my word. And also Legal Kimchi is here and probably knows more about this than I do. Are you subscribed to Legal Kimchi, by the way, y'all? Because if you're not, you should be. But yes, at some point we're starting at 7. We usually don't actually start until like 8:30, but because we talk for a while. Excuse me. But yeah. Yeah, this is fun. This was a good stream. I appreciate y'all just chilling and having a nice time. This was good. I think I talked about basically everything I meant to tonight, and if I didn't, talk about it later. But yeah, hopefully we'll have one more video this year. And again, I am sorry there weren't more. There was supposed to be more, but this has just been a year. It's been a year. You know, mentally, I'm still in April right now. Excuse me. Legal Kimchi specializes in Hobbit law. In my head, that's it. That sounds like bird law from like Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't know why. I heard like Charlie voice coming through. Bird law or something. Oh boy. Or Arrested Development, the pirate law thing where he was like he played Captain Hook's lawyer, or he played a lawyer in Peter Pan and now is pretending to be a lawyer for some reason. If you know, you know. You know what I'm talking about. It's been forever since I actually watched Arrested Development. The last time I did, I was like, oh wow, there's some stuff in here that did not age well. Which is really more to say that I did not have a good understanding of these things when I watched this show years ago. But yeah. But this was fun. This was a good time. And I am really proud of how the video's been doing. I'm really excited that it was so well received for the most part. And I appreciate that there were so many people who put up with the audio issues at the beginning, and I'm sorry. I did have somebody say that there was a way to fix your settings in audio on YouTube to change it to stereo if there's an issue. So apparently that's a thing you can do. I haven't tried this myself, but I have been told this, and I wrote it in my pinned comment. So there you go. In Middle Earth, the people are represented by 2 separate but equal organizations. Dun dun. Executive producer Dick Wolf. It's the same guy, but it's spelled with like the special font. It's the Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, Law and Order. Lord of the Order. I'm way too amused by this. All right. We'll give it like a minute or two, and then we're gonna translate Dick Wolf. Do it. Do it. Do it. But yeah, this was fun. Thank you all for being here. We're gonna wrap this up. I should probably do something before we watch Willow. I'm sure there's something I'm supposed to do. Actually, I don't think there is. I don't think there's anything I really have to do before we watch Willow tonight. I think I'm mostly just going to chill out. Chill out. Maybe I'll watch another episode of Bly Manor so I can watch my future husband, Raul Coley. He's so handsome. I do have a little bit of a parasocial relationship with him. I do enjoy his Instagram. And I don't apologize for it. I am interested. One thing I didn't say that I will say, there's a small part of me making the next video that is a little strategic, because I don't know how many of you know this, but like Michael Flanagan is kind of plugged into the video essayist space. He is, because like Lady Night the Brave made a Haunting of Hill House video, and then in her next video about Bly Manor, not her next video consecutively, but the next video she made about Michael Flanagan, he was actually in it. Like she interviewed him, which is really cool. And then when Aronach made her Midnight Mass video, he saw that video, shared it, and he became a Patreon supporter. So like he's kind of plugged into the video essay space. So I'm kind of curious if he'll see this video. I'm not counting on it, because like he's a human being with his own life, and he has things to do, like make TV shows. But you know, it's not out of the realm of possibility, and maybe he'll see it and like it and share it, and maybe that'll give me that last little boost so I get over 10K. Please. Wow, he picked a really good. Yeah, he did exactly. And Aeronock is gonna be a script advisor on my next video too. Like when she heard about it, she's like, "Can I help?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." I was gonna reach out to you anyway. Maybe Lady Night the Brave too. I'm not as connected to her, but I might reach out to her too and see, and just shoot my shot. Why not? So like, yeah, who knows? That could be cool. That would be fun. He seems generally like a nice I mean, if, I don't know him. Caveat. The last time I got really excited about a male showrunner, producer, writer person, that was Joss Whedon, and we know how that turned out. So like, I'm always prepared to be disappointed. But generally speaking, he seems cool. So hopefully that's and you know, we'll see what happens. But that's the dream. And hey, maybe if he sees it and he shares it, well, cool, you'll see it. And then Senpai will see me. Okay, that's enough of me. I'm gonna go. You guys were nice. Thank you. You're all wonderful. Zilla, Vince, Caption Boy, Legal Kimchi, Socialist Whore, Mary, everybody. You're all great. Anyone I didn't say, it's not because I didn't speak of you specifically. But Sarah, obviously. Everyone, you're all great. Zilla, all the people. You're all lovely. Thank you for the support. I'm really excited about how well the video did. Getting another 1,000 subscribers has been huge. The amount of money I'm going to get this month is amazing. And I really, yeah, I'm really overwhelmed, but like in a really good way. So keep tuned. The next video will be out hopefully before the end of the year, even if it's like just shy of midnight on December 31st. We will get it out. But anyway, you all have a great rest of your night. Take care of yourselves. Remember to drink some water if you haven't today. Take your medication if you haven't. Do the stuff. Maybe do a little dancing. Do some finger guns. And yeah. There's my cat. Look at my cat. Look how cute he is. There you go. The other one's somewhere. All right. Y'all have a good night. Toodles.